my name is Katja Lavinia, and I am a singer-songwriter here in LA, and I'm excited to interview with you.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So let's talk about your upbringing, first of all. In regards to music, how did you grow up and get started with music?
Well, I was adopted from Romania at 3.5, and I didn't have any language, so I actually had a voice that was very scratchy, and so no words, or we weren't talked to or, held or sung to or anything like that. So when my mom adopted me, the only way she could communicate with me was through song. So she would hum or sing to me getting food or walking to a certain place, and I responded really well to her musical directions, essentially. So I grew up, since being adopted, I grew up with my mom just singing kind of with me when I was growing up. And she kind of, when I turned 7 and 8 and 9, I remember her teaching me how to harmonize with her, and I just sort of fell in love and with music that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you were adopted at 3.
And then I moved to Switzerland for a year when my mom was working. And then from there, we moved to Palo Alto.
Wow.
Yes.
So your mom is like your biggest inspiration, probably,
Oh my
right?
gosh. She's my she's 100% my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
For me, I believe that she gave me a second chance at life. When we were in the orphanage, there was 3 to 5 of us cramped in a crib, and we didn't have diapers, and I was 22 pounds at 3.5, and we were starving, essentially. And so when she found me and chose me, she essentially just kind of gave me this whole brand new life. So for me, she's my angel and my number 1 fan. So
Wow, that's beautiful.
yeah.
Who are your musical inspirations?
Lyrically, Mary Chapin Carpenter was the first artist that when I listened to her, the way that she composed or threaded words together, I was just hooked on wanting to be a poet. And then from there, India.Arie came into the fold and kind of brought that soul. And really since then, I love Pink. She's just an inspiration, along with Sia, who's another inspiration of mine. Those are a couple that I can think of right now.
Those are my inspirations as well. So what's your songwriting process like?
It varies. There are times when I'll write a song in 30 minutes and record it and produce it. And there are other times when I'll noodle on a song or kind of spin on a song for a month. So sometimes I'll, if I'm really triggered by something, or if I'm really inspired by something, I will not be available, and my phone will be over there, and I will be in the work. And even if I have something that I'm supposed to be doing or an event, suddenly I'm not going to that event. I have to follow kind of it's kind of like a channel. Something goes through me, and I just have to write it down on paper, and I have to start
you have to
working
do
on
it right there,
I have to
right
do it
there.
right then, or else it goes away. I do have, for technology, thank goodness, right? We have those voice memos, and so I have a number of like very brief, like I'll just kind of write songs, and I'll be driving the car, press it, and just start singing away these lyrics, and then I'll bring them to when I, am not driving the car, I'll then write them down.
Because if you're in the car, like you can't just, I mean, you can pull over.
Right, but if I'm going somewhere. So there's a lot of different ways that I write, but also and then from there I'll have a piano in front of me, or I'll just sort of sit there, and I'll even kind of sit in silence and let the sound of silence kind of draw me into that space, that sort of musical space.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So what really inspires you? Like, what triggers?
What's that?
Yeah.
Well, It's shifting now, which I'm actually really happy about. But for the past, what's been my journey is really been like from struggle, then strength happens. So when there's a fight, or when there's a fighting for something, or when there's a loss of something, so heartache, or being angry, or being hurt, or feeling loss, that is when the kind of real juices come out. I'm entering into this new phase right now where I'm starting to write more lovey-dovey happy songs, which is really nice. And that's also still coming from a fiery place. So I would say it comes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There has to be some feeling.
There's got to be some fire.
Yeah.
There's got to, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to have that in order to, the fuel to the fire, if you will.
Yeah.
I know that I follow is that if I want to say something but the song isn't coming, I don't push it.
Yeah.
You just, it's not flowing yet. And just be patient. And I think that takes a lot of work to, even when you want to you want to start that car so badly, sometimes you just got to take a walk around the block.
Yeah.
And essentially just trust the process, essentially. And that's something that I think every artist has their own process. And for me, it's very, I'm almost there, but it's not yet. And then you just set the pen down.
Yeah.
And you
can't force it.
You can't, yeah. At least for me, I can't write something that's just not, for something else that's not authentic.
Mm-hmm. Or it just comes out as fake or something. Yeah. Yeah.
So, up in my EP, which I'll be releasing at the beginning of this year, so stay tuned, is Not Giving Up. And that was fuel to the fire, if you will. And it was about my first coming here to LA. And I really talk about being stuck. I had a lot of things set in place when I was up in San Francisco. I had a job, I had a partner, I had, I had a place of my own, a studio with a, private parking lot, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't completely happy. And so I essentially, things just opened up, and I think the universe just said, you've got to go and take this leap. So I went to LA, and on a leap of faith, essentially. And it wasn't easy. The first couple of months was actually horrible. It was really hard. And so I sat down in front of the piano and wrote the song Not Giving Up. And it just sort of, it's one of those, for me, it's an anthem song. It's one of those songs that I hope really does resonate with people and give people light where there is darkness. So that for me is my favorite song.
Wow. How long ago did you move to LA and write that song?
October 7th was my drive.
Wow.
So it's been a little over a year.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Part of performing is connecting with the people. I feel like half of the performance is the audience. Half of the energy really is who shows up, and with what do they show up with. Meaning, I've been very privileged and very honored to have people come to my shows very excited. And when they're excited to hear what I have to say and hear some old songs of mine, some classic Katja songs, and also hear some new works of mine, it's exciting for me. It kind of keeps that fire going. And interacting and engaging with the audience. And I've in the past 6 months, I've been able to sing in front of 5 people intimately to 105 people, and all of it is very energizing for me. And I feel like for me, whether you're singing in front of one person or 500 people, it's very important. It's very there's a message and there's a connection that's happening, and I take that both very seriously, and I also honor and value that experience a lot. So I love it. I love performing.
What's been your favorite show so far? Like whether it be the energy or just the...
My first one in LA.
Okay.
And by that I mean, it took about 6 months for me to get on my feet. In LA. The first 6 months was pretty lonely, and just I had to figure out what I was doing here. And if you hear when you hear the song "Not Giving Up," you'll understand more of what I mean by that. So once I started to kind of rise, I was very fortunate enough to meet an amazing community, and so I kicked off my first show with another wonderful artist, a friend of mine named Eden Iris, and she and so we kicked off this show at Silver Lake Lounge, and we had 50 people show up, and it was all people that I had just recently met, and they were all excited to see us, and they were invigorated, and there was it was magical. It was kind of like it's time. We're ready for you. We're ready to hear you. And I felt like I was in the right place at the right time.
Cool. So like how many shows like a month do you usually want to do?
Want to do?
Yeah.
I'd like to do a show every week.
Okay.
If not more. It's this I think I should be doing more, but I think for longevity's sake, doing a show once a week, if not twice a week, is ideal for me. So like on a Thursday and a Friday, or a Saturday and a Sunday. That just for right now. But of course, more shows, right? My paid shows. But my availability is open. And I'm not against doing more. So
yeah. Do you like weekday shows or weekend shows?
I think I like weekend shows. I just think they're more popular. I think people will gravitate to that more. But I also...
It's different energies.
Yeah, it is different energies.
Yeah.
It totally is. I think something that I haven't yet experienced that I know in time I will. I've been very, again, honored to sing in front of my friends and my community and people that are very loving with my music. It'd be really great to also sing in front of strangers and to see what the take is. And in front of 400 or 500 people that I don't know and resonate. I actually just did a performance, a private show for a healthcare company for the holidays. Wow. There was, I want to say, about a couple hundred people there, and people were dancing, people were having a good time, people were enjoying and engaging. So that was my first step into that desire.
Direction.
Yeah. But again, it was a holiday party, and people were kind of, it was, catching up and stuff too. So it
was private.
It was a private event, right?
Yeah.
So that was closer into the direction that I want. Not that I don't want to sing for my friends, but I'm kind of ready to expand that audience group. So.
Where would you like to play if you could play anywhere in LA?
Oh, anywhere in LA?
Yeah.
I'm like London.
I mean that too. You can expand.
I'm so forth. I hope to expand into Europe. That's a huge dream of mine.
Like touring
and have my songs, like it would be really cool to have some of my songs be in some DJ mixes as well, like on the dance floor, like that. The pop song "The Ripple Effect" is that I've been told is very poppy, and very dance like, so I can goals.
Do you like more of your dancey songs or more of your like mellow?
Personally, I like more of my mellow,
singer-songwriter,
kind of heart-wrenching songs, just because I do.
Yeah.
However, it's fun to expand and see kind of what takes. I think this year with these 3 songs that are coming out, Giving Up, The Ripple Effect, and Glory and Grace, those 3 songs are on my EP, is kind of like my test trial to see what takes, what audience, what audience sort of gravitates toward these songs, and from there, based off of what the stats say and kind of what happens, where it goes in the next year, is a good way for me to understand what to do next and to, you know, what to modify and what to kind of go further. Oh, dance is really taking off, go more dance. Or, oh, the subdued kind of heart-wrenching, heartbreaking is taking off more, go that direction a bit more.
Maybe just a mix of both.
Or a mix of both, and kind of see kind of just where that goes. So for me, this is all just fun and experimental, and seeing where it goes.
Release date for your EP?
I do. February 1st, 2019 is my release date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah.
I'm excited.
February
really
1st.
Excited. Yeah.
For February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay tuned and expect. Yes.
And where can we follow you?
You can right now follow me on SoundCloud, KatjaLavinia.com. And you can also find me on my website, Katja Love.
Ooh.
In. Yeah. So I've got some love in you. So I caught you some love in you. It's kind of a way to think about it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And Lavinia is my birth name, and Katja is my adopted name. So I thought I'd blend the two.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. Would have been a good question earlier. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Carly.
Yeah, thank you.